Welcome to another Optimus Prime build. We're back, Kev.
Yeah, we are. And he's getting bigger and bigger.
You know what? I actually tested the size of the foot compared to the Terminator foot. That foot is bigger.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying as well that the head and the head seems small, but actually Optimus Prime's foot's huge. Absolutely huge. If you watch the films or you have an action figure of him, you'll know that his foot is huge, absolutely huge. So, but it does. I'll tell you what, it does. It does scale up pretty well with it. I'm pretty happy with the scale of it. So,
yeah, definitely.
It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Right. Let's get to the chat and then we'll we'll talk. Cause Pack 2 was amazing. So first thing I've got D Harris saying evening young lad, evening D.
Hi D.
And then we've got DS Model says hello everyone. Hi Mark and Kev. Dave. Good luck with the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Cool.
D Harris is saying good evening to Sir Dave. D saying evening Kev. We've got JP from Spider Crew saying transform and roll out. Hi JP. Then we've got Anfield Road Layout in the Lost saying hi Mark and all in chat. Hi Lee. And we've got Yorkshire Crafter says good evening everyone. Hi love.
Hiya.
Then we've got Dave Matt Bill says good evening again everyone. Have a great stream tonight, Matt. Thank you, Dave Mac.
Cheers, Dave.
And then Dave Matt Bill says evening again to Dave, D, Spider Sprue, Lee, and Julie. And Dave Matt says a good evening to Kev. D Harris says at Dave Matt's good evening, sir. D Harris says at Yorkshire Crafter, good evening, Julie. Oh, it's jumping again. Yeah, there we go. We've got Horlick says hi, Mark. Hi, Horlick.
Hi, Horlicks.
We've got D Harris says evening, Lee at Anfield. D Harris says a good evening to Spider Sprue. Yorkshire Crafter says good evening at D Harris at Dave Matt Builds. Hang on a minute. It's jumped again. Right, there we go. Spider Fruit says hi Lee to Anfield and to Dave Mac to D Harrison to Yorkshire Crafter. Come on, StreamYard show. Thank you. D Harris says evening to Horlicks. We've got Todd from Marvel. Hi, says hello and good evening all. Hi Todd.
Hi Todd.
We've got Dave Matt Bill says hi Horlicks. D Harris says at Marvel Picks. Good evening, Todd. Lee says hi to Kev.
Hi.
Horlicks says hi Todd, Dave, Kev, Lee, and all. And Spider Sprue says I have my Side Sweep t-shirt on. Wow.
Side Sweep. Cool.
And that's one of the free gifts we get. We get a t-shirt. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to the bag myself.
All right. I don't know if I'd have the bag.
The bag that comes, it looks really nice.
I bet Kirsty takes the bag.
No, I use a rucksack quite a lot, so I'll be taking that. I'll be getting rid of the one I use at the moment and using that one.
Okay.
So
we've got Ian Campbell says hi all. Hi Ian.
Hi Ian.
D Harris says Ian Campbell. Good evening, sir. And we've got Mark's Hobby says, in Pack 2, did you get 4 issues? Because I'm only getting 3. Right, we'll get on to that in a second.
Okay.
We'll get back to
I've got 4.
Crafty Chris says, hi, Mark and Kev. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Chris. Hiya.
Horlick says, hi, D. D Harris says, evening at Crafty Chris. And D Harris says, at Mark's Hobbies, good evening. Right, that one. In Pack 2, did you get 4 issues? Because I'm only getting 3. I got 4 issues.
Yeah, I did get 4 issues as well. You want to check that because, but yeah, I definitely got 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've done 2 of them already, and I've got another 2 left. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot in the other 2 packs. I think the other 2 packs consist of that and that.
Yeah.
And obviously there's little bits to put on like the blue strap. But yeah. But apart from that, it's all. I know some people as well were complaining about this part. Mine is quite loose as well.
Yeah, I fixed mine.
When he's standing, you're not going to notice because it just it holds anyway, so
Yeah,
it's not overly bad.
I had the same problem. So what I do is I took the screw out, I put some super glue on the screw, and then screwed it back in, and it holds it as tight as it can, as you want it.
What about some thread lock? Might do it.
So I had the same problem with that screw because I think I over tightened and then it. Yeah, thread lock might do it.
Some thread lock. Look, I mean, it's not too bad because it obviously sits on that anyway. So
yeah, but I had the same, and mine's now really stiff. So
nice. I might have to do that then.
Super. Yeah, just back the screw out and just in.
Yeah, I can get to the screw. It's fine. It's just there. So, but it's all right. It's holding. It's fine. I just don't want it like falling off as you move him.
Yeah. So I was pretty impressed.
It comes a bit loose.
To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I think
I think we're gonna like a bit like the RoboCop. I think what you're gonna do is you're gonna start the limbs and then start on the body, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're just gonna keep building on this part now, and there's a lot, and I mean a lot to go just on this foot.
Yeah.
So there's so much stuff to go on the foot here. It's, I mean, this part here. So there's 3 of them. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was glitching a little bit. I was just shutting things down.
Oh right, okay. So there's 3 of these, and they sit under here. So it's like that sort of configuration. So you have 2 one side and 1 the other. But yeah, we know we've got a few of these to come, and there's a few more bits along here. I think there's a ball joint that goes into there.
Right.
I'm hoping it's a ball joint because otherwise you won't get a lot of movement out of that foot. So I'm hoping it's a ball joint. But then obviously that will connect onto here as well. So eventually that will sit here.
Yeah.
Here. So
I think we're going to have bits of it which might be a little bit like the Terminator, you know, like the ball joints and stuff like that. One of the things I found, which it didn't really explain very well in the instructions was, but because I built the Terminator, it looked pretty obvious, was the round bits that you put in to make the movement. So it was...
which parts were they?
Sort of the curls like that.
Yeah.
So you had 2 like round bits, and now when you looked at it, one had a flat side, and then one had a side with some ridges on. Yeah. Now because I've done the Terminator, I thought, well, it's got to be like that. It's got to be the ridges have got to meet the ridges on the other side, so it can, is a bit of
rip in.
Yeah. But it didn't explain it very well in the instructions.
No, and that was a bit of if you watch my video of it, it's a bit I was a bit fiddly as well because you're having to clamp both sides together and the little bits kept falling off and you're having to juggle a little bit trying to hold it down and I got there in the end obviously, but yeah, it was a bit of a hands-on one, that one. I'm
enjoying it. I mean, I know a couple of things that have come up, I know in the Facebook group, is people have had their next payment for pack 3 already.
Yeah.
And I think there were a couple of things we wanted to clear up on that. And the simple thing is pack 2 was late. The usual thing of they didn't know how much would be signing up for it, what the quantity, the warehouse. So we got the notification pack 2 was going to be late. So we was like, okay, that's normal. And then pack 3, they've literally taken a payment at the time they should have done for it. So it's not early. It's actually pack 2 was about a week or 2 weeks behind, were it?
Yeah. Also, as well, on the portal, it looks like it shows you what's in contents 7 and 8. But then it doesn't show you anything else. And I was wondering, maybe they're jumping the gun a little bit because obviously over in France where they're building it, I think they're only on issue 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be ahead of them, but the content, it doesn't appear on there at all. It's a bit like, oh, why isn't it on there? It just says, I think they're blacked out, ain't they? I think they're blacked out. I think it's 10, 11, and 9, 10, 11. I think are all sort of blacked out.
Yeah, I saw that on the portal today.
Yeah, it's only showing you. So I was like, why has it done that? And then I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. And the quantity's changed as well. We were supposed to get 6. We're only getting 5.
Right. I'm wondering whether that's to do with obviously it's starting up. You know, like Harshit have done it a couple of times when they've started it up, saying, right, well, you won't get an issue every week. You'll get an issue every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Stagger. So it's like a stagger effect. Yeah.
Or like with the alien build where, oh no, is it the alien build? No, it's the one. It's the Tumblr subscription where they're only sending out 6 at a time now instead of the
6 every 6 weeks. Yeah. It might be. I don't know, but on the website it says pack 1 comes with 2 issues. Pack 1 comes with 2. Pack 2 comes with 4 issues. And then there'll be 6 issues thereafter. But this pack 3, has only got 5. So they might have amended it again. It's really weird because they've amended it about 6 or 7 times now from when it originally was announced, which is a bit annoying because I think a lot of people budget for it and then they've gone, hang on, it's not going to be 5, it's going to be 6. And then they've gone, oh no, it's going to be 6. So I don't really understand why they've gone backwards and forwards on that. It's a bit frustrating.
Well, yeah, definitely. But I think there was the same problem with the DeLorean because I signed obviously up to finish the DeLorean.
Yeah.
And I got the same. I think it was 2 issues and 4 issues, and it sort of fluctuated right at the beginning, where to now it's sort of settled down, and I'm getting the amount of issues I should be, even though they're flying out to me, which is, a month ago I was on 90 odd, and I'll have up to nearly 120 to build by the next couple of packs. I
think they're trying to finish it for the people that started halfway through. I think they're trying to finish it as quick as possible for people. I think that's what their aim is, so people are not waiting around or anything. I know the Enterprise build, I'm quite far behind on that one, so I know I've got a few years on that, but everyone's up to issue 21, so everyone's still got a year at least on that, I think. So
Extra 1, I didn't realise I was actually up to where Wayne was.
Yeah.
So when Wayne did his video, I think it was yesterday, I actually realised. I thought, oh right, I didn't realise I was actually on the same.
It's 2 packs left, isn't there, on the Ecto? And one of them's a dust cover, I believe.
Well, there's a little bit of controversy behind that because we were all told, 141 issues, and Fanhome have turned around and said no, it's 140 issues. So we don't know if we're getting the dust cover.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I think it was 141 issues, and I think the last issue was a dust cover. And yeah, like you're saying, we might, I don't know, they might throw that in, it's like just a freebie sort of thing instead of the magazine. Because I reckon the last magazine of that build will be like the DeLorean, where it's every single issue in one big book. Do you remember they did? I don't know. When they originally did it, I remember the very last issue, everyone got a big, thick magazine with every single issue that had ever brought out into it. And people were asking, why have they done that? That's a bit weird.
Like you're going to build another one.
Well, it was a bit strange. Why give it away in the magazine sort of thing? It was a bit... We've already got all the magazines because we've just built it. So why are you giving us all of them again in just one big book? I don't really understand. It was a bit strange. I think people just went, why?
One thing I can say, though, and it is happening with the DeLorean build. I don't know whether it's happening with the Ecto 1 or any other build. Fanhome are finishing off from Eagle Moss, but I'm getting free gifts from Fanhome for the DeLorean. So I've got posters. I've been sent a binder. So for those who are thinking, are we going to get the free gifts that Eagle Moss promised? I can't say for definite yes, but it's promising.
Yeah, I know they said that with the Enterprise build, they're going to. I think they're keeping the free gifts like the prints and things and the binders. But one of the special gifts that they were giving out were the models, the shuttle packs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now they said they may bring them out. They're not entirely sure yet if they're going to bring them out with the build, but they were offered as a special, so they were like extra money.
Yeah.
That wasn't a free gift. But what I'm understanding is all the free gifts that were with the builds will still be with the builds.
Mm.
That's what I've been told. Because I know a lot of people came up and said, do we still get binders? Do we still get this? I think they did say the DeLorean and the Enterprise are getting the binders, but Ecto 1 and Eleanor aren't. They're not doing them.
And we don't get a binder for this.
No. I mean, I don't keep the magazines anyway, but these ones are actually really nice. So I might end up actually keeping these because there's quite a bit of information here on the toys and
that's what I was thinking.
In general. So
yeah,
I mean, it goes in depth on like the comics and the toys and stuff. So I may keep it, but no, they don't come with any now. But they're small enough to fit in those little files. You know, the little up end files that you can buy. You can just chuck them in. They're like they're more like little file things. You can just. I was thinking of getting a couple of them maybe to bung them in just to store them.
Excellent. Okay, right. I will just catch up with this chat because it's running away from us again.
Okay.
So Lee says hi to Ian. JP says, "Oh, I forgot to say hi, Mark and Kev. Hi, JP.
Hiya.
Lee says, "See." Dave Matt says, evening, Ian Campbell and Mark's Hobbies and Chris. Lee says hi to D. Mark's Hobbies says, I did, but they say they are saying it changed. And is that to the how many issues?
Yes. Okay. That's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I know the first. I got 4 issues in the second pack, so
yeah, so did I.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
That is a strange one. Mark's Hobby says hi, Dave and D. Crafty Chris says good evening, D and Dave, Mac and Lee. And we've got Lindsay's Build saying hello, everyone. Hi, Lindsay.
Hiya.
D Harris says, Mark, you glitched slightly. Yeah, I saw that day. I've had to close a couple of things down. At Lindsay's Bills, good evening. Right, Todd says in the US it is 2 issues in first pack, then 4 issues in each throughout. In the UK it is 2 issues, then 4, then 5 through the rest of the build. Right, thank you, Todd.
Yeah. Cheers, Todd. Because I know it was supposed to be there were 6, 5, like it flitted between the two of them, whether it was going to be or not, like 5 or 6 issues. So.
Didn't they do the same thing with the Gauntlet?
Yes, they did. Yeah, with the Infinity Gauntlet, they switched backwards and forwards a few times. I don't know like the ins and outs on it, but I know that the website when we signed up to the Optimus Prime build before they sent out pack 1, I know the website changed a few times with how much the issues were going to be and how many issues we were going to get, and I think that's what's caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah. Right. Todd says in Germany it is 2 issues, then the 2nd to 5th packs are 3 issues each, then 6 issues each through the rest. Goodness, how do you get your head around that?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be ahead of them, which is a bit surprising, really, because they got the build first. But it is the way it is. Yeah, it's the way it works, I suppose.
Mark's Hobby says Marvel. That's what they told me. Okay. Todd says Netherlands is 3 issues throughout 3rd pack, then 6 each month. Then he says, I believe this is because of all the issues are coming from China into the UK and then out to other countries from there. Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were distributing it from the UK.
Yeah, I think they've got their. Oh, I don't know. I know that they've got, or they might have a distribution in the US.
Yeah.
But it does seem a bit of a workaround, doesn't it? Really coming in and then shipping it elsewhere.
Yeah. Strange.
So, yeah.
Todd says Austria is the same as Germany. He also says, are trying to recoup some of the costs it took to take over all the Eagle mess. I like that one, Eagle mess.
Eagle mess. Yeah.
Todd says, what a silly book, should have been the first magazine. I think, he's on about the DeLorean.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Todd says, I got a binder with my latest Eleanor shipment. So it is happening then.
Yeah, I think they're trying to, because one of the things in the enterprise group I put, which I wanted to find out, just through sort of curiosity, really, because a lot of people were posting their issues that they were getting, and most of them said Hero Collector. Obviously, that's Eagle Moss. I know that they were using Eagle Moss stock, but I know that they printed new stuff, and I was just curious if anyone actually got Fanhome ones. And as I can see, no one's got past issue 21. You've got a Fanhome.
I got a Fanhome edition of the DeLorean.
Oh wow! Okay.
Hang on.
Everyone's getting the old Eagle Moss stock at the moment.
Hang on. There we go.
Because they're going through the Eagle Moss. They're going through the old Eagle Moss stock first.
Okay. Here we go. Here is an 108 of the DeLorean with Fanhome on it.
Fanhome, yeah.
It happens.
I know they got all the old stock and they were going through the Eagle Moss stock first. But it looks like the Enterprise build, a lot of the stuff, especially the magazines, are all Eagle Moss. None of them at the moment have been Fanhome.
Yeah. Eagle Moss, Eagle Moss, Eagle Moss, Eagle Moss, Eagle Moss. Okay, I only have one magazine that says Fanhome on it, but they do exist.
Yeah. I was just really curious. That was all. It was just curiosity because I wanted to know when they started, like what issue they started from. And with the Enterprise build, a lot of people have got the Hero Collector one from issue 21, which was the latest issue to come out, sort of thing. Last people got people up to. So I'm wondering when they start from, like when Fanhome starts on.
I should frame that issue, shouldn't I? Really? It is an official Fanhome issue of the DeLorean.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It was like I say, it was just curiosity because I was just wanting to know what was coming through. I know some of the bags that the parts come in. Some of them have had Fanhome and Eagle Moss stock mixed up in it, so that's interesting as well.
You got me confused now. I've got 108 in here.
So some of the parts in the blister packs are Eagle Moss, and some of them are Fanhome, but they've come with the Eagle Moss magazines.
Okay, so the 108 I got is an Eagle Moss part, but the magazine is Fanhome.
Yeah, yes, it's all a bit of a mix. It's really strange, but it's quite interesting, sort of thinking about it.
But at least we know that eventually everything will be Fanhome, and we'll go eventually. Yeah,
I said on our last stream, I said, we've had the problem with issue 2, pack 2, and it was delayed, and we were talking about it, and I said it's normally from pack 3 everything settles down. The first 2 packs, it's all a bit hectic. It's all starting to come. There's been delays because of popularity, and they can't print enough stuff. And then after pack 3, everything sort of mellows. Everything goes fine. After you receive even with your, like you're saying with your DeLorean, it was a bit sketchy at the start, but from sort of pack 3 onwards, it's probably been quite sailing. It's probably been fine.
Yeah, I'm quite chuffed at that. But I did actually notice that when I got my last lot, I was looking through them going, I've got actually a Fanhome magazine here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right. Dave Max says hi to Lindsay. D. Harris says, Todd, why am I not surprised you would know all this info? LOL. Good to have someone in the know. Yes. Spider-Fruit says, what was your first Transformer? My one was the G1 Decepticon Thrust 1986.
Mine was Rodimus Prime.
Mine was actually Optimus Prime.
No, I think mine was Rodimus Prime. He became Prime later on, but he was just Rodimus at the start, and he came with like this trailer that goes on a fast car. Quite interesting. It's quite difficult to explain. But when Optimus Prime dies, he takes over as Prime, Rodimus.
Yeah. Mine was the original Optimus Prime, and I think that was 1985 because I got it for my 5th birthday.
I can't remember my age. I do remember playing with him though, and I know I did have him. That's for definite.
Yeah. Actually, it's really strange because when all the Transformers and bits were coming out, as a gimmick thing in the area, you could actually go and do a course on how these toys work, and my dad did the course.
Yeah.
How to transform these things, and you got a little certificate at the end of it to say you've done the course, but you know what you're doing on Christmas Day. And
cool. It's a shame they don't do things like that. It's just kids don't play with toys anymore. It's all collectors now. It's the collectors market. So, but yeah.
Todd says, I think the binders depend on what stock is left where. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Fanhome did find it hard to track down a lot of the stock, didn't they? Because they didn't know where.
Yeah. The problem with that was when containers were labelled as having such and such in, when they opened it, they were like, well, this ain't that, this ain't this. So that's another reason why the builds and that got pushed back so much, because I think, say this container was supposed to have issue 20 in. When they opened it up, it had issue 3 and issue 5, and it was like, hang on a minute, why is this? So where's that issue? So what happened was they opened up all these containers, and they were like, well, it's just a mess, and they were like, so we're going to have to push the date back because we can't sort through this mess and send out as well. So that's why it's taken longer than it should have. But to be fair, it's been really quick. It's been a quick turnaround.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, to only have one build which they didn't carry on with, which was the Titanic, I think pretty much now we're all getting sorted, really. It has been a mess, but it just shows that, there was somebody there to take it on, and thank goodness there was, really.
If the Titanic was to come out, I think it would be under D'Agostini model space. Because obviously Fanhome only deal with the cult and TV stuff, and the Titanic doesn't fall under that, I'm afraid.
No.
So
I don't know. I can't see that coming out again. I've still got all mine. I've still got all my bits. I've still got it, in storage, but just can't see it being taken over, unfortunately. But
with the other builds that they had, I think they were more interested in the 4 that they've obviously released than any other builds they had. So
it's just, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
Todd says it's Eagle Mess. Learnt it, remember it, grumble about it. LOL.
Despite all the problems that we had with Eagle Moss, I still fondly of it. I built my original DeLorean from there. I collected every Star Trek ship that they released. There was loads of stuff that I remember collecting from them. And despite their problems, I think, when they went, it left a big hole. So, which has now been filled.
I had not a very good experience with Eagle Moss. I've got to be honest. Mine was, I was on the phone weekly to them.
Oh yeah, they had some problems. Don't tell. Yeah, you can tell me, because I even buying stuff from when I was doing it, I had problems with them, especially with the Star Trek collection. But I was always happy when I got my stuff. I think most people are, but yeah.
But at the end of the day, what happened, and I think I'm glad that Fanhome are still bringing out new stuff as well, like the Optimus Prime, as well as bringing out, because they could have easily said, right, well, this year, I tell you what, we're just going to have to focus on the Eagle Moss stuff, get that out, because we've got that. Yes, we can go back from, and then that's it. But they've gone, well, hang on a minute, we've still got stuff in the pipeline we want to release here, so let's do that as well.
Yeah, and they're not finished. By the way, they're not finished as well. There's still more to come out this year. So if you think that is, you know, the last one that they released, which was the Millennium Falcon, if you thought that was the last one this year, you are falsely mistaken, I'm afraid. They've got a few more in the pipework, that's for sure.
I kind of knew the Falcon was coming, but I just had this really good feeling, and I'd heard a few rumours. But
yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming out for a very long time, and I've been reporting on it. Then now I've started to have a relationship with Fanhome, and then they told me. I was a bit like, well, I knew it was coming out. I found out the information long before Eaglemoss. They took the Eaglemoss stuff over. I knew that Fanhome was gearing up for it, so I knew that Falcon was going to come out.
I love that build.
And obviously they're just re-releasing the Terminator over in France as well. So I can see that because someone said it's sold out on Agora website. It's not on Agora's website anymore, I don't think.
Right.
Someone said they've stopped releasing it, sort of thing. So it probably might come back. I've got a funny feeling it's going to come back, but it will probably come back as a bit like the Alien build. So like £120 a pack, and then you build it pack form over 12 months.
£120 a pack.
Yeah.
Okay. Spanish Brew says, don't forget, next year Transformers will be 40.
Yeah.
That makes me feel old.
And me, because I've just had my 40th birthday, so it's been going as long as I've been around, nearly.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
John Bill's Iconic Military Models says, good evening, everyone. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
D. Harris says, evening, John. Marvel Pick says, hey, at John, Iconic Military Models. Dave Matt Bill says, hi, John Builds. Marvel Phoenix says, happy to see the Falcon coming back, though. Pretty excited. Yeah, I broke my teeth on that Falcon. I really did. I loved it. And for me, it was a kind of, I never got the toy when I was a kid. So when it was this, come and build this massive Falcon, I was like, well, I'm there. I am there. And I loved it. I loved every part of it. Story. I
remember when I saw the very first issue come out, and you saw the size of the cockpit. Because I think issue 1 was like the interior parts of the cockpit, and I was like, oh, this is going to be huge. So I had to build it. But like I think we said on the last stream, actually I think I said it on my stream when I had it on last couple of Sundays ago, you're going to need some massive amount of room.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because I remember you saying as well, do you remember the plastic jigsaw? The plastic jig you had to put it on. You had 2 of them. And it's separated for quite some time before you put it together.
Yeah, but the problem is with the plastic jig is you couldn't pick the plastic jig up to
move.
It
fell apart. No. Yeah, it fell apart. Yeah.
Just putting it back together again.
No. But the amount of space, like you said, it was a bit of a watershed moment because it was one of those builds. It came out around the same time as the DeLorean originally did as well. So I remember building them around the same sort of time. And then obviously R2 was released just after that.
Yeah, it was.
And I built that as well. But it was sort of like a watershed moment for me because I built that and I've done a part work ever since. Since.
For me, it was like I'd done all 3 of the Star Wars part works that were released. So I did the Millennium Falcon, I did the R2-D2, and for my sins, I did the X-Wing, even though that didn't turn out to be one of the best in the world. But
yeah, we've all done those builds where they're like, this is awful. But I'm glad it's finished.
I stuck with it. I really did stick with it. But yeah, it was one of them love-hate things with the X-Wing. It wasn't the best.
I think that. I mean, even with the Terminator, there was that love-hate, especially with the fingers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the amount of problems we had with those fingers.
I ended up getting Chloe's mod for that.
The screws.
Yeah.
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 And they still, I remember they sent out replacement pipes, didn't they? Little pipes to put in, spacers. But some of them didn't even help. They didn't work very well.
No.
But yeah,
Todd says, and those Adam West fans, keep your hopes up.
yes.
So,
Yeah, don't give away too much, Todd. There's only a few of us in the know. Yeah, there might be something from Eagle Moss coming out.
Might be.
I just yeah. You didn't hear it from me.
I don't know anybody at Fanhome, so don't ask me.
No. I don't. I play ignorance. I know nothing.
Yeah. Spice Brew says, I did get the Fallout 4 collection from Eagle Moss, 2 ships and 5 figures.
Yeah, they did a Fallout series. They did quite a few. They did They were going to do Stargate, but obviously they collapsed before they could come out. I know. Master Replicas. They've got some of the stuff that wasn't re-released. That wasn't released, if you know what I mean. Stuff that they made but wasn't released. They've been selling that. So there's a bit of a gap with the Star Trek and the Doctor Who stuff at the minute. So hopefully, you never know, something might come along. Someone, I know Corgi. They've got the Star Trek license again, so they're going to be doing Star Trek ships under the Corgi license. So that's something if you're into your Star Trek.
Yeah.
So
Todd says Kevin Kilford, the OG Transformer. LOL.
Yep. Decepticon for life.
Todd says, I spent a bunch of money on aftermarket mods for the Falcon. Gonna go nuts on it, paint, etc.
I'll tell you what, the amount of... Go on.
I think it's one of the first models, and the only one I can sort of remember, that actually encouraged you in the magazine to mod it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the build... Yeah, I mean, at the end of the build, they did... I think D'Agostini released a weathering kit for it.
Yeah.
And they also, I remember as well, they did a tutorial on how to paint and weather it. They did I think they're still on YouTube, actually. They did a tutorial video on how you could mod it. But I know Shapeways there was so many mods for it on there, especially for the interior.
I did a little bit of painting on mine, but that's about it, because back then my skills were not what they would be today. But I remember in the instructions they were telling you how, I think the first one was, would you black wash the seats in the cockpit to make them look old, because they were kind of like an orange color, and I didn't even know what it was called back then. And then I learned about it a few years later. I'm like, oh, that's what we did in Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I wish we could go back and and do it again, but I can't.
I remember there was one technique where you could use a soldering iron to do the blast marks over it.
Yeah,
and you could scratch it up and stuff. And I was thought, it's telling you this in the magazine, and I was like you're saying, it's like one of the first ones where, in fact, I think it's the only one where it tells you to paint it. Or it shows you can leave it as basic, or you can have the techniques to do it. And it was all in the magazine. And I think it's the only one that's ever said that. Like, you can paint it up and use a soldering iron to put the scratch marks in, and you can paint down the lines and stuff.
I think the only thing I didn't get for the Falcon, I didn't get the weathering kit.
No.
And I didn't get the mains transformer for it.
Yeah, that was the other extra.
Wanted about 30-40 quid for just a plug.
Yeah, it was just the plug, wasn't it? Because it has the plug in underneath.
Yeah.
And instead of giving it as a premium, I think it was a bit like the TV stand. Do you remember the stand that they supplied? And everyone was going a bit nuts because I think they charged something horrendous for it. I think it was like 60 or 70 quid. And people were like, it's just a normal TV stand. You can buy them for like £20. And everyone was like, you sure? And they were like, yeah, it was like £20 for a TV stand.
A normal TV stand.
Yeah, it just goes on because the holding plate is just held on with. It was just a TV stand. I remember so many people complaining, saying, because the X-Wing was the same. The X-Wing's just a TV stand.
It's a little bit smaller than a TV stand, but yeah, it's a it's a very small monitored TV stand.
Yeah.
And that's on a TV stand right now because I can't remember where I put the original TV, the stand for it. But
it is, yeah. It's just a normal. Someone said it's a 32-inch TV stand, and like I said, the Agostini I think were charging like 70 or 80 quid, and people were like, "No, just go down a hardware store and get one for 20 quid." So, yeah.
Right. Spider-Proof says, don't forget to put the Falcon above the TV.
Yeah.
I get mine in my room. That's as bad as
my one is, it was huge, and we had three dogs at the time, and I was always worried it was going to get damaged. So actually, it is now pride and place in my brother's front room on his table. Wow. And it's been there ever since. But it doesn't. I'll tell you what, it doesn't. The electrics don't hold up. Let's put it that way. So the landing lights are working, but the ramp lights don't work. One of the engine lights don't work on it because it was 2 LED strips, not a single one. And I think the cockpit interior doesn't light up either. But apart from that, it's held up. But yeah. I think it's quite easy to like get to as well because there was a lot of plugs, weren't there? You could take off, and
I think you could probably easily fix some LED strips on the back of the Falcon with EL rope.
Yeah,
like you do on the Falcon for the flux bands, because that would just solve the problem instantly. You wouldn't get it brighter in some area. Mine, I think I could even work out where the LED strip was. It was that bright, and it shouldn't have been that bright, really.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were complaining about how bright it was, and yeah, like it was I think it's 2 LED strips that go either side, and they're pretty basic. But you know, now we've worked with electrics and we know what to do. I mean, there's so much stuff I think you could. I mean, some people were going all out for it when it first came out. I mean, fiber optics. I remember someone doing fiber optics for the interior, the cockpit, and they stuck fiber optics all in the interior, and I was like, wow.
Oh, I could simply go to town on that one because I've learned Arduino coding since then. I've learned so much, and if I could do another one, I could go to town in it. I probably wouldn't. Well, I can't afford to do another one, but it was just, you could really just mod the heck out of it.
Yeah.
To the point that you could have a little hatch where Lando Calrissian comes up to in Empire Strikes Back and stuff at the top, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it only has that small area inside, but actually the whole ship is sort of hollow. So in theory, you could actually do the whole interior of the ship. Yeah. Because the rest of the ship is just hollow. It's only that panel that's there that shows you the interior. Apart from that, it's completely sort of hollow inside, isn't it?
That's always what gets me frustrated about it, because in every Falcon build or toy, you always get the area where they played the game on. Now, that scene was no more than 20 minutes long in A New Hope. And it's on every single toy. And it's like, couldn't you just focus on the other areas of the Falcon, please, that we might be interested in looking at? Not just the place where you sit down and, Yeah. But, it seems to be on every... It's never mentioned much ever since that A New Hope in it, apart from...
It's in the newer films.
It's in one of the newer films, isn't it, where it switches on and the game's actually carrying on from A New Hope that they were playing. Yeah. But apart from that, no.
But yeah, there was definitely some room in there for modding, like so much room.
Mark's Hobby says, I got 5 models from Fanhome. Wow. As bad as me with 6.
I mean, I've got enough going on here, and I'm running out of room now. I'm just glad that some of them are finishing. So,
yeah, I mean, I haven't ordered my next set of parts for the Ecto 1 yet because I've just been waiting for everything to sort of die down a bit. And no things are going out. But I've been sort of waiting on things until I order. I didn't pre-order mine because mine needed repairing because it's been knocked around goodness knows what for a year.
Yeah.
I wanted to double check all the electrical connections, and I'd forgotten what leads were doing what as well. So I had the leads going up to the roof, and I didn't got a clue which one were which or anything like that. So I've had to backtrack, take the shell off, redo all the wiring in there, resolder some parts of it, and then sort of work my way around it to figure it off. One of the things I did though is I took them absolutely ridiculous front lights off that kept snapping on everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm literally, when it comes to finishing it, I'm literally going to glue them in, and that's it.
Is that the strobe lights at the front?
Not the light bar. Yeah, the two blue lights at the front. Yeah, that keeps snapping. That was snapping on everybody, especially when we had to start, moving it upside down.
Yeah. That's what really winds me out. A lot of these, a lot of the car builds, you seem to be sort of working on some bit, and then it asks you to flip it over, and then you're working on something, and it's like it can't be doing. The one thing that I really don't like. It's a pet peeve of mine, and that is where it asks you to test the electrics all the time. And I know we've got to, but you're stressing those wires by doing that.
Yeah.
By plugging them in and out to test them. And I know we've got to test them, but it puts strain on that wire every time.
Yeah.
And I'm always fearful when you stick it in the tester and then you try and get it out and it's stuck or something. You're like, oh no, I can see myself pulling this and the wire's coming out, and we're back to square one again.
Yeah, you learn how that one, just to push it in slightly until it makes contact. Test it.
Yes, that's what I've learned. Yeah, just to hold it there, just to hold it. Don't push it in, just hold it. It works. Yeah. Take it out.
Todd says, no wife equals Legos above my TV. Haha.
Well,
Lindsay's build says, back again. Sorry, had to nip off.
It's okay.
Scully Scale and Schematics says, so a Ford Lincoln future is coming. Futara, is that? I don't know. I'm rubbish. I'm rubbish at reading. So I
didn't know that. No, I do know that there is a Subaru Impreza coming out through IXO.
Right.
I don't know whether it's a new one or whether it's a re-release that they've done before.
I'm going to say there was one before, wasn't there?
But it is definitely listed. It's listed on their website. But when you click on it, it doesn't go anywhere. But it's definitely on the drop-down. So if anyone's interested in because they seem to be bringing out quite a lot of the rally cars at the moment.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I can't do it, but it sounds interesting. Todd says, sad that Big Chief Studios went into admin recently. Lots of sci-fi figures and such gone. I don't know anything about sci-fi figures. So.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So Big Chief Studios were like a bit like Hot Toys and Sideshow. They done high-end collectibles. And they did a lot of the 1/6 scale Doctor Who and 007 figures. And they were going to be bringing out a load of Gary Anderson stuff as well, like Thunderbirds, Joe 90, Scarlet, and all of that. But yesterday they ceased trading. They went into administration straight away yesterday.
Wow.
So it's a big company as well, big company that supplied the well. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's just happening.
Yeah, a lot of it's happening at the moment. You've got Wilkinson's and everything's just closing down at the moment.
So Todd says, Eagle Moss was working on the Mad Max Ford Falcon before they went under. No idea how far they got.
I think it was just on the drawing board, Todd. Because there was a lot of things that were written down that they were going to release, but only got to the stage of being written down. So one of them was going to be a partwork Dalek.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many people are wanting that?
Massive. I would have dropped everything. I would build that. I wouldn't care what would happen. I have to build that. But that was one of them. There was also a NASCAR, an F1 car they were doing. I didn't know much more than it was a NASCAR and an F1 car that they were going to do. And there was another Star Trek ship as well that they were going to do. There was loads, but I think a lot of those were just written down. That I don't think a lot of them got to where the planning stage was. They were all just written down as what they wanted to do. Whether or not they were going to do them or not, it's another thing. So,
right. We've got Dream Builder says, "Hi Mark, mate, and Mr. Nexus, checking in, mate. Bad net cause of thunderstorms. Keep safe, mate."
Yeah, keep it safe, mate. Yeah.
Mark's Hobbies says, "Scott said that, I think." Spice Proof says, "At Marvel Phoenix, I have the Hamilton Collection Star Trek Next Generation plate set and Hamilton Collection Star Trek insignias." Is that?
That is insignias, yeah. Yeah, I've got loads of Star Trek stuff. It's on my channel. You should check it out. But yeah, I'm Star Trek mad, me.
Yeah. Dave Mark Bill says, "I'm going to say good night, guys. Great stream. See you on the next one. Night all in chat." Night, Dave Mark.
See you later, Dave.
D. Harris says, "At Dave Mac Bills, good night, mate. See you soon." Spider Spruce says, "Night to Dave Mac." Jody Day says, "Evening, everyone." Hi, Jody. Todd says, "The Subaru from IXO is a test in Japan via Diagostini."
Yeah, that is the Subaru Impreza then, because that's the one that they've done. So
right.
I know that one.
I think I've seen that. That's the blue one, isn't it?
The Colin McRae one, yeah. If you remember Colin McRae, yeah, the blue Mitsubishi Subaru.
Yeah. D. Harris says, "Seen the Subaru on Ian's Partwork page, not the same as the old build." Right.
Right. Okay.
Scully Scale and Schematic says, "Ford Lincoln concept car is what George Barris made the 66 Batmobile from."
Oh, right. Okay.
I didn't know that either. And Marvel Phoenix says, "Scully Scale Schematics, Kevin and I can neither confirm nor deny, LOL." No. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. But yeah, I want to get back onto the Optimus Prime quickly. Yeah. There's his foot. So as you can see on here, this is the little bit that we've done. So we've got all of that to do. I think it's going to take, I would say, at least 20 plus issues to do that whole leg.
Definitely.
At least, and that's just one. And then we'll probably do the next one, and then the hat. I mean, the chest is probably going to be the last thing that we do.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on there in that chest, and you've got the back sections as well. But yeah, I would say at least 20, probably even more, just to do one leg, because there's more going on in the leg than there is on the hands.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How's your Allspark doing?
Yeah, good. I've painted it all up. I'm hoping I'm gonna unveil it next time that we do a stream. But I'm hoping it can sit in his hand. I'm gonna have him holding it.
Right. That's good.
So yeah, I'm gonna. It's come out quite well. Really good. Yeah, I've had a couple of tests. I've done it a few times on the printer. So I've done it. The first time I did it, I didn't do any supports, and then the next one I done supports, and it came out slightly better. And I'm still with the 3D printer. I'm still sort of trying to get the hang of it.
Oh, wait until you start designing your own stuff. It's all good.
Yeah, that's the next stage.
It's all good fun. Todd says the new sub-E test is the BRX, which is actually corrected saying BRZ GT300, different car from the Impreza.
Right, okay. So, I thought it might have been the Impreza one. I haven't looked. I know it's on there. Someone messaged me, but I don't know any more than that. I haven't really delved into it, if you know what I mean. It's not a build that I'm going to build, so I've not really looked into it.
Yeah. John's model making says, reminds me of the Iron Man build, but it looks better than Agora's model. So back to the Optimus Prime on that one. For me, I think it does look better. I'm not going to knock the Agora one because the Agora one looks like it's going to be absolutely humongous from the side of it. I just think there's a bit more going on this one than...
Yeah, I think the movie one was the right way to go, if I was perfectly honest. I'm not knocking it myself. It's okay if you're into G1, but I think more people were more recognisable with the movie version than they are with the G1 now.
For me, the movie version looks more sci-fi.
Yeah, definitely.
That's to me, the Agora one looks very like we used to get as the toy in the when in the 1980s, and the second one, this one looks more sci-fi to me. And the way it's built, it screams it really of let your mind go as far as it wants to go, really, in a sci-fi.
Yeah, I think with the Agora one, like you said, I'm not knocking it, but it is. I don't really want to say it, but I'm going to. It's basic because that's what the cartoon version was. It was sort of basic lines and structured. Where with this one, when they actually built, when Michael Bay and crew built the actual Optimus Prime for the film, a lot of people were complaining because some people were saying, well, why is he a different truck? Michael Bay said, right, we've got Optimus Prime. Now we've got to fit all that into a truck. It has to be realistic. So this is another thing as well, because when he transforms, they make sure in the film, that every little bit goes into from the truck engine. They broke it all down and then they stuck it all in it. And it sort of shows you when he's transforming, you can see all the little cogs moving into place, the wheels moving into place, everything moving into place. So, yeah, like you said, it's more sci-fi, it's more gunky, you know what I mean? There's more going on.
I did watch something on it saying a lot of people complained, why wasn't the truck just red in the movie?
Yeah.
Why have you put blue? Why have you put flames on it? The original never had that one. And the answer simply was, in CGI, it is absolutely a nightmare to work with red.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's a nightmare. So they only could have a certain amount of red in there. And the rest had to be like the blue and the flames and everything else like that, just in order for the movie to work. So that was the simple answer to it. We couldn't work with so much red in the movie.
Yeah, and it was another reason when they said there was also criticizing as well when they said why was Megatron sort of like a Cybertronian tank? He should have been a handgun because he was in the cartoon. And Michael Bay was the same way with Optimus Prime. He was like, because we've got a thing this size, so it has to transform into something of equal size. Because nothing can shrink down, or only the Allspark did, but the Transformers, they have to be sort of the same. They have to cram everything into that space. So if you've got Optimus Prime, Megatron, who's bigger than Optimus Prime, how is he going to shrink down into a little gun? So that's why they went, we've got to build him in this massive tank.
You've got to move with what was at that time. This was appealing to the new generation and the older generation of Transformers. I mean, what was it's gone right out of my head. What was the name in the cartoon? The one with that was the tape recorder.
Soundwave.
Yeah, Soundwave. You couldn't have a tape recorder Soundwave because most of the kids in the cinemas going, "What is that?" And you'd have to go explain for an hour what you used to do with a big pen and a cassette tape.
He winded it back. Yeah,
you could not have that as the original. It just wouldn't work. As you put something in, I'll come down to it now. But it's right. You have to move with the times. So evening, John. John's Mold Making says evening, D, and all in chat.
John.
John Mold Making says Agora model looks like a toy, just like a fire truck. Spice Proof says, I want Dinobots. My favorite Transformers, please. Snarl the Stegosaurus. In fact, all of them. Todd says, well, Bumblebee was a Beetle and now he's a Camaro. Things change. Very true. Very true.
Well, he's back to being a. It was weird because they've just done the Bumblebee movie. He went back to being the VW Bug, and now he's back to being a Camaro again. It's all change.
Scully Scale says at Marvel Picks, GT300 are the second tier cars in Japanese GT Championship. Super GT is top tier. Can't see it coming here. Not a very iconic car for us Westerners. I wouldn't have a clue. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Gareth Waite says, hello all. How is everyone? Hi, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
And then Gareth says, hi, John's Metal Making. How are you, fella? And then Todd says, I agree. There are lots of part works of Japanese cars over there only. Yeah. So, right, we're coming up at 9 o'clock. That has been a fast hour.
Yeah. We've discussed everything, really, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We've gone through Transformers, through part works, through Transformers again. Getting bad, really.
Yeah, through Fanhome and Eagle Moss and everything else in between.
The good news is Fanhome have got a grip on what happened with Eagle Moss, which is what we've all been talking about for a year. They've got a grip on it now, and the last of what they needed to do is being done. So,
it's all looking good at the moment.
It is looking good. I know people have had problems with things not coming out on time, and I suppose it's a case of let them work out the logistics, because they've gone from, I think, a very small company to quite a big company in less than a year.
Yeah.
All the collections they're doing now. And
it
probably takes time to adjust.
Yeah, of course it does,
it's just one of them things, but down on the bench building them, I'm loving this build. I really am. It brings me joy to do it. And there isn't a lot of sci-fi stuff out there at the moment. A lot of it seems to be classic stuff. Okay, you got the kit car, but I never really watched Knight Rider. It wasn't my thing. So,
I didn't think I was going to do the Knight Rider, and then Fanhome approached me and I said, go on then. And I'm actually quite liking it. It's just I'm going to struggle to place it. I don't know where I'm going to put it. So we'll find out somewhere. So
right, I'll get through these last comments and we'll say good night, because I know Kev, you'll be wanting. You got your girls and everything. So Todd says this was a good time. Do it again. Yeah, we'll have to
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Have to do. Gareth says, I would love one of the companies to do Gypsy Danger from the Pacific Rim films.
Oh, yeah. Have you never seen that, Mark?
No.
He's a big robot. It's like a mech suit they wear. Jaegers, they're called.
All I'm going to say is before that, Johnny 5, end of conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so much controversy around that one.
Yeah.
John Mullermaking says, hi, Gareth. Fine, thanks. Gareth Waite says, glad to hear it, John. D says, excellent show, Dents. A good night to you both. I'll see you soon.
See you later, D.
John Mullermaking says, how are you, Gareth? Lee says, hi, John's model making. D. Harris says, a good night to all in chat also. Spider Spruce says, Transformers can mass shift. They also are aliens, so side doesn't matter. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Gareth Waite says, I'm good. Cheers, John. Cheers. Lindsay's build says, very interesting stream, guys. Thanks, Lindsay.
Cheers, Lindsay.
Lee says, here, but working on my slate mine build. Todd says, feels like you guys should do a part vert review every couple of...
Well, yeah.
What we started. Okay. Yeah, we'll think on that one.
Yeah, there is lots about, and we are doing a lot.
Yeah.
So
model making says Millennium Falcon Mark. I've already done it, John, and I can't afford to do another one. So I'd love to, but yeah, I can't afford to do another one. D. Harris says night to Todd. John's model making says hi, Lee. Todd says I'm still bugging Agora about a J5. Oh dear. Spider Proof says night all. Todd says great night to you both and all in chat. Lee says good stream, big thank you for the good stream, no problem. Gareth Waite says the first film is amazing film, Mark, well worth watch. I'll have to give it a watch.
Pacific Rim.
I'll remember that one. So yeah, Thanks for being on, Kate. If we're going to have to do this every couple of weeks, we're going to have to find a way to do it to your channel too, because then at least then it's going to both of us.
Yeah.
Recognition for it, you know, because it's only going to mine. I can't, like I said,
that's my. I ain't got a problem with that. I like coming over to your channel. You know, it's good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So thank you everybody for your fantastic chat tonight.
Thanks everyone.
Fantastic. We never plan these. Well, we do plan to go live, but we never plan it before what we're going to say or anything. It's just right. We've got that, and that's it. Right, let's go live. So yeah. It's
unscripted.
Oh yeah, it's all scripted. It's all good fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, completely.
So, Kev, have you got all coming up this week?
Not a lot, really. Batman Tumblr, Disney Dollhouse, and the Fast and Furious. That is it. Unless some stuff turns up, but I'm not expecting anything to turn up this week. So,
okay, will you be doing your catch up on Sunday?
Yeah. Sunday stream this Sunday. Yeah, I'll be doing that.
7 p.m. Me this week, guys. We've got the usual bills coming out. So tomorrow will be Mura, Thursday will be Rossi, Friday will be DeLorean, and Saturday will be Optimus Prime. Friday, 1:00 p.m.-ish in the afternoon. I might do a bench live, but I'm not too sure yet. So I'm still toying with the matter. So, but just watch out and see what comes up in your notifications. So, thanks everybody for watching. It's been great. We'll see you all on the next one. Looking forward to it already. And yeah, see you all later.
See you later.
Bye.